Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
What's going on, Freak Nation and the Freak Radio Network? All of you watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and every other audio video app across the planet. Thank you guys for hanging out, man. You can chat with us on your YouTube page, your Facebook page, and on Twitch. Kenny Sargent, Crash Gladys, Statman, Richard C. Suave. Talladega happened, or did it? We'll get to that. Robert Hight, 8 NHRA Funny Car wins this year. If I was a gambling man, Statman would have lost because I would have won. I would have predicted that Robert Hight was going to win 8 freaking NHRA Funny Car races this year, Statman.
You would not, liar.
Hey, if you'd have picked Rutgers and the points,
right,
you would have won the other day. They had 39.5, and Ohio State only won by 39.
I just thought, okay, if they're playing Ohio State, then I know why you knew the numbers. Again,
Exactly.
be a part of this big old thing, Freak Nation. Follow us on Twitter. We're there for you on Facebook and, of course, Instagram, speedfreaks.tv. Hello, you guys, on MAV TV's Facebook page. Same on WWT Raceway's Facebook page. We got your results coming up from St. Louis. That'll be coming up in Crash Gladys Pit News and Notes, which, by the way, Robert Hight, your NHRA Funny Car winner, will be here in the Freak Nation. Let's get into what happened today at Talladega, or what didn't happen at Talladega. Saw what happened over Thursday night with Tua Tagovailoa, where he went back in the game after a lot of people thought he shouldn't go into a Thursday night football game, given what happened the week prior with the actions on the field where he looked concussed. He got concussed again Thursday night, so much so if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, he had those crumpled up hands as he lies on the ground. The reason I bring that up, Statman, Crash, and Suave, and Freak Nation, is given what we've seen with this next-gen car, and we're going to go deep into this coming up in about 10 minutes, with the next-gen car and Alex Bowman, Kurt Busch, and these concussions, I was thinking, oh, my gosh, going into Talladega, it's just teeing it up for someone to hit the wall and just to double down on the concussion issues with this next-gen car.
Violently hit the wall.
Yes.
Backing into it. Yes, absolutely.
And we'll ask AJ Allmendinger coming up in about 40 minutes. He'll be joining us here in the Freak Nation, the Xfinity Series winner from Talladega. We'll ask him all about that. Am I the only one thinking that, Crash, Stat, thinking that Talladega was going to be the site of just doubling down on these next-gen car issues and the concussions?
No, after the Alex Bowman news last week, I was certainly scared, to be perfectly honest, about what Talladega might bring. Mm-hmm. And I think we escaped very, very... Jordan Anderson aside, we will get to, unfortunately, his fire and his burns in the Truck Series. Thank goodness he is now recovering at home. So there is good news there. But aside from that, it was a very unscathed Talladega weekend.
Statman?
It didn't cross my mind, but I don't have the same fear of the car that apparently everybody else does, but I don't drive it. So, hey, I just didn't have those fears at Talladega. I do give these guys some credit, not a lot, but some.
Suave, did you make the connection between Tua and NASCAR this weekend?
A little bit going into Talladega for sure. So much so, in fact, that when I was dual screening today, red zone on the TV, NASCAR on my laptop, and I saw cars crashing on my laptop, I said, "Uh-oh, that's not good. Hope everybody's okay." And that was my first thought. It's like, please, no more concussions, no more concussions. And seemingly, it was a pretty clean race at Talladega today for the most part. And I think everybody in the Cup Series side got away okay.
Do I have enough fingers on screen? 6 cautions. That was it. 2 of those 6 were for stage breaks. Is that a record at Talladega for least amount of cautions? I mean, if it was, they would have said. So arguably it's not. But wow. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is a clean race at Talladega.
Which means it means they could do it if they want to. I mean, I mean, these guys drive these cars like they're on the 405 in Los Angeles. It's crazy. But if they want to go for the win, they can do it.
All right, Freak Nation, for those of you watching us on many Facebook pages, keep in mind this is a big fat radio show that we put on many Facebook pages and YouTube pages. You might be listening to us on one of our many affiliates across the country and watching us at the same time. Badass. We're going to resume with some of our affiliates with Sports Map and get right back to it, Freak Nation.
Speed Freaks, we promise to suck less. Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
The Freaks.
We'd like to welcome in Sports Map Radio Network. How are you guys doing, man? Speed Freaks on a Sunday night. AJ Allmendinger. AJ Allmendinger, 7:40 Pacific, 10:40 Eastern. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. Again, your Xfinity Series winner. Going to talk to him about all kinds of next-gen car Q&A.
We're going to talk about his Xfinity win at Talladega, finally securing a Superspeedway win. Right. Come on.
NHRA Funny Car winner from Worldwide Technology Raceway. What a great race weekend. Robert Hight will be here in the Freak Nation. And a stock car driver on the West Coast that you probably never heard of, but he got a major stock car team owner, his 100th win. That'll be coming up in the second hour. Be sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course our website, speedfreaks.tv. Crash got us as a pit news and notes. And Statman's going to do something they hadn't done in about 4 or 5 weeks. Going to talk rally. Don't tell anybody. Going to talk rally. Going to talk rally.
He is a former rally driver himself,
yeah.
FYI.
As we were talking, as we kicked off the top of the hour, there was not anything huge that happened today in the NASCAR race at Talladega. If you watch the NASCAR truck race and Jordan Anderson, when his truck caught fire, and Jordan Anderson is hopping out of the car just prior to him hitting the safer barrier.
Well, he had to. He was just, the flames were everywhere. Got not confirmed, but got underneath the Nomex. I mean, mind blown.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously anything is possible, but damn.
That man, you and I have run, we beat this story to death. So we're just going to kill it one more time. But you and I drove a legitimate NASCAR Truck Series truck, or at California Speedway, damn near at speed. Imagine getting your ass out of that truck if it's on fire.
I can imagine getting myself out of anything if it was on fire. I can figure out a way to get that done.
Oh, yeah. So it's a big 2 hours here in the Freak Nation. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching this big old thing. Again, it's Speed Freaks every Sunday night, 7 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Eastern Time. Coming up, Freak Nation.
Motorsports Radio, redefined.
General Tire was born more than 100 years ago, right here in America. We've spent the last century tackling every kind of road this country has to offer, and especially the places without roads. So you know that with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Hey, Freak Nation, did you hear? With the addition of MAV TV Plus to the MAV TV Motorsports Network, they've got their full live event broadcast schedule, a total of 226 live race broadcasts featuring the ARCA Series, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Pro Pulling League, American Sprint Car Series, Pro Motocross, and the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl Nationals. MAV TV, the only television network dedicated to motorsports. Go to mavtv.com to get your motorsports fix 24/7, 365.
Hey, Dad, what are you going to buy at the store today?
I'm out of Lucas Oil fuel treatment, so let's jump in here and grab us some.
Well, do they have the Lucas Oil Parts Cleaner and Degreaser?
I bet they do.
Well, how about the Lucas Oil Power Steering Fluid?
You know, they'll have that too.
Even the Octane Booster?
I won't be surprised if they do.
My favorite red and tacky grease?
Yes, they will, babe.
Dad, when we're done, can we grab some candy?
Deal, but you gotta share.
Awesome! Lucas works.
It's more than just a slogan. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. General Tire's Grabber X3 Mud Terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressively styling the speed freaks since 2001.
Time is more valuable today. There's less time to keep our vehicles looking their best. That's where Lucas Oil Slick Mist Speed Wax steps up. It's great for paint, chrome, glass, and vinyl. Lucas Oil Slick Mist simply mists on and then wipes off, leaving a new car shine every time. It's quick and easy and works on wet or dry surfaces. For a complete detail, there's also Slick Mist Interior or Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Lucas Oil, it works.
Lucas Oil, it works.
I run Lucas Oil.
It doesn't matter if you're on the water,
Driving to work,
or competing in a sold-out stadium.
Lucas Oil products will help you get the most out of your vehicle.
Monster Jam has run Lucas Oil in and on our trucks for over 10 years.
we wouldn't run anything else.
Lucas Oil, the official oil of Monster Jam.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
I can't say it enough, man. 22 years from the Lucas Oil Studios, and typically at this time I'll highlight a product at lucasoil.com. But what I like to do from time to time, I just like to say this. You got a car, truck, boat, you want to keep it fat and happy, inside your engine, outside your car, inside your car. Lucas Oil has the products to keep your cars looking and sounding pretty tasty. Go to lucasoil.com. That's lucasoil.com for more information. Coming up this hour, AJ Allmendinger, Xfinity Series winner from Talladega. Now your points leader. Again, your points leader. He'll be joining us at 40 past the hour. That's 7:40 Pacific, 10:40 Eastern. Thank you guys for watching us on Facebook, YouTube. We are a big fat radio show. We've been doing this for 22 years. Maybe you've been listening to the Freak Radio Network for those 22. Thank you, Freak Nation. And you can chat with us on YouTube and Facebook. I made the comparison to the concussions in the NFL, specifically with your quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, and how the issues with Kurt Busch and Alex Bowman. By the way, you knew Alex Bowman didn't run this weekend because he had issues from his wreck last weekend in Texas.
Yes.
Right? And Statman brought up a good point. There's all NASCAR fans know that there are big issues with this next-gen car. And a lot of people are trying to put their finger on it, but Statman sent us a damn good email this afternoon. I thought, we need to hit this. Mm-hmm. And it addresses some issues with the next-gen car, because something's got to be done, Statman, with this car, or something to protect these drivers from a lot of people's perspective, to protect these drivers a little bit better.
Well, it turns out something is being done. Brad Keselowski, who's part owner in the Roush Fenway Racing, has a great piece on racer.com. He didn't write it, but he's the feature in the piece. And he's talking about some of the changes and the transparency that he's finding out as an owner that he didn't know as a driver. In fact, there's some testing that's supposed to be happening in Ohio this week on the rear zone of the car. but the issue of the car came about for a lot of reasons. One, it was done by a company in Italy called Dallara. Now they make sports cars and open wheel cars, and they make road cars. All these cars are put together with a lot of structural rigidity, and that had more than they found in some of the cars in NASCAR. And because of the pandemic, when this car was going together, they didn't get a chance to test it a lot. And the testing that they did do was testing at solo cars on the track instead of a lot of cars in a pack like they race. It's kind of like being in physical shape, but not in football shape. The car needed some changes, and those changes are in the process of happening now. There was some, I don't want to go too deep into this. I want to give you a chance to ask questions if you do, but the car was created to meet two needs. One, to create some parity in the competition, and two, to cut the cost. If you had to go to buy all the pieces, then that would cut the cost for the teams. But it didn't work that way. Turns out the teams are paying more because they're having to wait and find out, and these parts aren't coming easily. Nobody expected them to throw them against the wall as much as they do.
Crasher, let me jump in here real quick. And Richie, my apologies. I was, not that we needed to hear it again, but I was on the Hot Rod Power Tour last year with Continental Tire. Continental Tire and General Tire are both partners. So if you say, well, Kenny, you're General Tire. Well, yeah.
Same company.
Yeah, same company. And I had a conversation with a couple of gentlemen not too far from the Dallara shop, Crasher.
Yes. There's a Dallara racing shop where they produce a lot of things just down the street, maybe 2 blocks from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
And
so, yeah.
When Statt brought this to my attention, how do I say that? I don't want to get any, screw it. One of these dudes had a direct connection to Dallara. And he was saying at the time, this is August of 2021, that he would be surprised if they got the next-gen car out there in time. He was surprised that there were enough parts to even put enough cars together, because what he was hearing and what he was, I guess, seeing was they were having issues even connecting some of these new parts with the next. As basic as that sounds, connecting some of these parts to where they match up. Then you can wrench it down. They were having issues with, they were getting no seat time in these things, specifically what Stat's talking about. And these are two dudes directly and indirectly involved with Dallara, at least right outside of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So when Statman brought up the fact that these things, it just reminded me that, yeah, these are being designed by Dallara, that really, Stat, the closest thing, Crasher, that they've had to stock cars was with sports cars, right?
But that's still pretty significant.
Yeah.
It's just that it's, and correct me if I'm wrong, Statman, the design that NASCAR wanted, the modular design that they wanted, they couldn't get away from it being rigid because of those particular specs that NASCAR gave them. Is that correct?
That's part of it. That I made a lot of phone calls to friends who are team owners and drivers, and even some champions in multiple series. And they are surprised at this, and they're looking at it and saying, how is this going to be changed? And some of the old car, and we talked about. Let me take a moment here. We talked about head problems, concussions in the new car, but they had people that retired because of concussions in the old car. You remember Jerry Nadeau, you remember Steve Parks, Ernie Irvin. They drove in the old car and they had problems. So it might be more endemic to the industry than it is to the specific car. Now, a lot of drivers are saying the car's too stiff, and it might be, but maybe the car was designed to race instead of crash. And that's a real issue. They drive these cars against walls and against each other. And, they make sports cars, and these sports cars go against walls and each other, and the drivers aren't having the same issues that they do with the NASCAR Cup car.
See, that's exactly where I have an issue with this, because you just said it. Dallara is making sports cars. Dallara is the exclusive supplier for IndyCar. The crashes that those drivers are going through in those Dallara-backed cars are arguably faster and more severe. Heck, Tony Kanaan, not too long ago at the Indy 500, had an 80G hit. I believe that was in turn 1. He walked away. No concussion. So
Now,
there's something else going on here.
Well, the difference in the open wheel car is that when it goes against the wall, stuff flies off.
Yes.
And that's the energy that is released when that you hit the wall at 80 Gs.
Right, but it's not happening in these stock cars.
Yeah, it's not happening in the stock cars. So that's a problem. And maybe the testing that's going to happen this week in Ohio might be something that they could find out, what's causing some of this stuff. And what I would hate to see is going back to the old car.
Yeah, no.
That would, space frame with tubes and all that stuff and truck arms. And it's just insanity how they race these cars for so long. I like this car. I like the look of it and I like the handling of it. But again, I don't drive it. I just like the way it's possible to be raced. But the problem is, I never heard this about a race car before. It's too stiff. And maybe there's some changes, and what might potentially could be minor changes, but talking about changing everything and throwing it out and starting over, going back to the old car, that would be the worst thing that could happen.
But isn't that what some drivers like Denny Hamlin need to do to try to get heard or to try to be heard, is just make ridiculous statements like that? Because there is no possible way that they're going to completely scrap this car. Far too many millions of dollars were invested in this. What it needs to be about is finding the problem. Yeah, and 3 years of testing. Yeah, finding the problem and fixing it fast.
Now, the one thing before we get away from this, I think, and it was suggested by a couple of people that I talked to, is that some testing needs to be done in two areas. One is the soft walls that they've been sitting out in the elements for 20 years. Now, I don't know what kind of maintenance goes on with these things, but if all the accidents involve the soft walls, then maybe the soft walls need to be looked at and find out whether or not they've outlived their usefulness. We don't know if they're supposed to last 20 years with no changes. Maybe they need to be updated. And the other is that I've noticed that a lot of the drivers, especially in NASCAR, use different head and neck restraint systems. And maybe they have to find out if these head and neck restraint systems are different for the different cars, and maybe for the increased speeds that they have, since they introduced the head and neck restraint systems again almost 20 years ago, right after the Dale Earnhardt Sr. crash.
Coming up in 17 minutes, his name is AJ Allmendinger, Xfinity Series pilot, who again runs part-time in the Cup Series. We'll ask him about that, and of course his big Xfinity win in Talladega. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. And of course, Robert Hight, NHRA Funny Car winner from Worldwide Technology Raceway. He'll be joining us here in the second hour. Statman, I'm glad you brought that up about the softball technology and the head and neck restraints. And again, I'm going back to the National Football League, and it came to light that the NFL Players Association fired the what's the title? Neuro doctor.
Neurospecialist. Yeah.
Yes, right. And it's going to force the NFL and the NFL Players Association to step up their cognition, or step up their protocol to examine these players when it comes to concussion issues. And you've got to evolve with what's happening on the field or on the racetrack. And I didn't even think about softball technology. We were praising that. Remember, we were bitching and moaning within our 22 years of the development of racing cars and walls and helmets and Hans devices has been nuts, has been just nuclear in growth. I like that one. But the fact that they haven't really gone back, at least as far as we know, and tested these walls for what these cars are doing, Maybe they have. We just haven't heard about it, but I'm just glad.
Well, it's a good point because I just made the reference to Indy cars and how the Indy cars completely break apart, and that's what dissipates the energy away from the driver and out into the ether, basically. However, Joseph Newgarden this year at Iowa took a massive hit, and if I remember correctly, that was also backing in, and he fell down at his trailer not too long after that. He had a concussion. So you're right. Maybe the walls do need an updating. That's something we can ask AJ about as well.
Freak Nation, I hope you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, our website, speedfreaks.tv, and, of course, our 90-plus radio affiliates across the country, part of Sports Map Radio Network. Thank you guys for hanging out. And again, coming up at 40 past the hour, AJ Allmendinger will be here in the Freak Nation. In a moment, your stat man, Scat. Got some rally conversation coming up here in the Freak Nation.
Yeah.
And in the second hour, Robert Hight, NHRA Funny Car winner for the 8th time this year. And he's not a clear championship. He's not a clear numbers winner when it comes to the points going into the next race. So, yeah, a big hour and a half coming up for you here in the Freak Nation. But first, how about your stat man, Scat?
Kalle Rovanperä is the hottest name in the World Rally Championship right now. He won the World Championship in New Zealand this weekend. The Finn is only 22 years old. The championship came officially a day after his 22nd birthday. That makes him the youngest World Rally champion ever. Rovanperä's win in New Zealand came at the expense of Frenchman Sébastien Ogier, who has 8 of these things. But Rovanperä beat him by nearly 35 seconds in New Zealand. Even if you don't care about rallying, you have to appreciate this headline. Kalle is traveling all over the world, beating guys old enough to be his father. And there's still 2 championships left in the season. Here in America, we're told to cheer for teenagers who win local races. Rovanperä won 6 of 11 championship rallies this year, and there's 2 more to go. He beat all comers. So what were you doing on your 22nd birthday? Peace.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined. listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
I got to tell you this again, man. General Tire, proud partners here with the Freak Nation. Speed Freaks on a Sunday night. Lucas Oil Studios, 22 years, man. General Tires, now through the end of October, buy 4 qualifying light truck SUV tires, and you'll get up to $100 back the Visa prepaid card. Look, man, fall's here. Winter's coming. When you're sliding around the tarmac, taking your Bambinos to school, make sure you haven't, well, if you're sliding around the tarmac, go get you some just go get some General Tires, baby. Up to $100 back here in the Freak Nation. The Visa prepaid card. With light truck SUV tires. For more information, check it out at generaltire.com. All right, Crasher Pit News and Notes brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Crasher, you got a crap ton to talk about in about 5 minutes.
That's lovely. Thank you very much. All right, it's October. Happy October. Spooky time, y'all. The IMSA Sports Car Series they're not done for 2022. F1 was rain delayed and cautioned in Singapore. What's new? NASCAR blistered around Talladega. NHRA rolled through St. Louis. World of Outlaws dirtied up Pennsylvania. Yeah, we got a lot. First on the F1 front, this is a serious question. Have we ever had a Singapore Grand Prix where the safety car, virtual or otherwise, wasn't deployed? And also rain, massive rain. I don't know what's up with rain in this vicinity, but the 2022 version of the Singapore Grand Prix, Sergio Perez crossed the line first, allegedly. Charles Leclerc second, and Leclerc's Ferrari teammate Carlos Sainz was third. Perez's win was contested for a safety car violation, but get this, even if the violation would have been determined to have occurred, Perez won the race by 7.6 seconds. He would have only been docked 5 seconds, so it wouldn't matter anyway. Sergio Perez, winner, and Max Verstappen, too bad, so sad. Gotta wait another week before you can celly with the bubbly. IMSA drivers and members are celebrating their year-end banquet as we speak right now. But this weekend's season finale, the Petit Le Mans, went off pretty much without a hitch. And remember, there was a scare or two for Hurricane Ian disrupting everything, which, by the way, we need to give a shout out to everybody affected by Hurricane Ian. This was a horrific storm, and we are definitely keeping you in our thoughts and prayers. I know it affected a lot of sports car drivers as well, because many of them live in the Florida area, all sorts of Florida areas. Winning the overall and the title, the championship in the DPI was the number 60 Meyershank Racing team of Tom Blomqvist, Oliver Jarvis, and Elio Castroneves. In LMP2, it was John Ferrano, Luis Delatres, and Rui Pinto de Andre, who swept both the race and the title. The Andretti Autosport Ligier with Jarrett Andretti, Gabby Chavez, and Josh Burden won the LMP3 battle, a.k.a. the race at Petit. But it was Core Autosports, Colin Brown, John Bennett, and George Kurtz with the championship. So for all class wins and titles, you got to hit up IMSA.com and Racer.com, because you got to get the GTD classes. You got to get them all. But I only have so much time. At Worldwide Technology Raceway, just outside of St. Louis, the NHRA certainly put on a show. We've seen you guys chiming in on this show visually, saying how much fun you had at WWTR. So you basically had a weekend of your top championship contenders taking the win. Steve Torrence in Top Fuel, his second consecutive now at WWTR. Robert Hight in Funny Car, his 8th win on the season. Erica Enders in Pro Stock, also her 8th win on the season. But get this, her now 4th consecutive at WWTR. And Lucas Oil's own Matt Smith in Pro Stock Motorcycles, who basically won this thing from the pole and is still top on the points. All 4 simply dominated the day. NASCAR race at Talladega, where we've talked about this a little bit already. Domination never seems to enter the sentiments due to very uneasy anticipations about the big one. But get this, the Xfinity race, 1 caution, 1 lonely caution in the entire duration. In the end, it came down to AJ Allmendinger not giving away the lead too early. We're going to talk to him in just a little bit on the ginormous 2.66 mile asphalt, finally solidifying his first Super Speedway win. Hello, after so many close calls. The Cup Series race through only 6 cautions at Dega, still very, very low. it ain't your granddaddy's Talladega anymore, it seems like. Even though drama did ensue towards the end, though, Chase Elliott edging his buddy Ryan Blaney at the stripe by just 0.046 seconds. The biggest drama of the weekend, however, was in the Truck Series, and it wasn't that good. Matt DiBenedetto was your winner, but Jordan Anderson was the story. He suffered second-degree burns on his neck, face, chest, arms, knees, during what seemed to be a fairly small crash, but just unfortunately erupted in serious flames inside his truck. Jordan tweeted last night that he was being released from the hospital, but that it would most likely be a recovery of several weeks. So many thoughts and prayers to Jordan Anderson. Just speedy recovery, buddy, because we know he's also the team owner of Xfinity driver Myatt Snyder, and he's still got a job to do, poor guy.
Crash Class Spit News and Notes brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Go to GeneralTire.com for more information on how you can get up to $100 back with 4 qualifying General Tires for your SUV or your light truck. Coming up, AJ Allmendinger, all kinds of crazy insight. Your winner from the Xfinity Series on Saturday. He's here.
Finally a super speedway.
Yeah. And next hour, Robert Hight, NHRA Funny Car winner from our friends Worldwide Technology Raceway. He'll be in here. And a dude named Cole Moore. Probably didn't ring a bell, but Bill McAnally should for many of you stock car fans out there. So, yeah, man, more freaks coming up.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
General Tire was born more than 100 years ago, right here in America. We've spent the last century tackling every kind of road this country has to offer, and especially the places without roads. So you know that with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Drifting can be the most demanding motorsport in the world. My name is June Main. The high RPMs required to keep my tires spinning and rubber burning are brutal on engine oil. That's why Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer was formulated for performance on the track and the highway. Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer keeps my power on for split-second decisions, making every shift and turn count. When it comes to my engine and engine oil, I give it every advantage with Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer.
Hey, Freak Nation, did you hear? With the addition of MAV TV Plus to the MAV TV Motorsports Network, they've got their full live event broadcast schedule, a total of 226 live race broadcasts featuring the ARCA Series, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Pro Pulling League, American Sprint Car Series, Pro Motocross, and the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl Nationals. MAV TV, the only television network dedicated to motorsports. Go to MAVTV.com to get your motorsports fix 24/7, 365.
Time is more valuable today. There's less time to keep our vehicles looking their best. That's where Lucas Oil Slick Mist Speed Wax steps up. It's great for paint, chrome, glass, and vinyl. Lucas Oil Slick Mist simply mists on and then wipes off, leaving a new car shine every time. It's quick and easy and works on wet or dry surfaces. For a complete detail, there's also Slick Mist Interior or Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Lucas Oil, it works.
Hey, Dad, what are you going to buy at the store today?
I'm out of Lucas Oil fuel treatment, so let's jump in here and grab us some.
Well, do they have the Lucas Oil Parts Cleaner and Degreaser?
I bet they do.
Well, how about the Lucas Oil Power Steering Fluid?
You know, they'll have that too.
Even the Octane Booster?
I won't be surprised if they do.
My favorite red and tacky grease?
Yes, they will, babe.
Dad, when we're done, can we grab some candy?
Deal, but you gotta share.
Awesome! Lucas works.
It's more than just a slogan. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressively styling the Speed Freaks since 2001.
You're listening to SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Network, Speed Freaks on a Sunday night. Don't forget the website, speedfreaks.tv. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Many of you watching us on Facebook and YouTube tonight. In fact, in moments, you'll be able to see us with AJ Allmendinger. Hey-o. Xfinity Series winner from Talladega. He's got a lot to say about his win, a lot to say about the next-gen car, because he will be running, as you know, he'll be running the Roval coming up next weekend. He has the Xfinity Series race and then the Cup race, both on the road course there in the Freak Nation. And then, of course, Robert Hight, NHRA Top Fuel winner from Worldwide Technology Raceway this afternoon. When we caught up with AJ Allmendinger, it was typical. It was typical. He had somebody right there licking his face. Yeah. AJ Allmendinger, Xfinity Series winner here in the Freak Nation. Doing what he does best, having dogs lick his face. If you're watching this on YouTube and Facebook Live, was that the first person to greet you outside of your family after that Xfinity Series race win at Talladega on Saturday?
It was. Tickles did not care that much. He just was laying down. I tried to pick him up and he bit me. So Zena wins here. Hey, over here.
Zena.
Over here. There you go.
Zena.
This is great radio, isn't it? It's fantastic.
Yes, for the
It's
people
awesome.
who cannot watch this right now, we have an absolutely adora Xena, the warrior princess dog, on film with us right now.
That's right.
Hey, Allmendinger, I know it's tough to get used to this, but let's talk serious business out of the gate. I don't need to get into all the madness, but you and I had a conversation back in April. You joined the one and only Kenny Sargent post-race with your top 3 finish, and you talked about how gnarly it is running Talladega, and you were running for the lead. You had Jeffrey Earnhardt, and you're not going to take out an Earnhardt in that race. And then this race, in the blink of an eye, you win the damn thing. Is it still the anxiety that you talked about back in April, running the same race again a few months later that you experienced?
Yeah, I still hate it. Yeah. I'll never love or enjoy super speedway racing. With that said, I'm still going to, when it's time to try to get it, if there's a chance to win or go for the win, I'm still going to make the moves that I think are right to do that. But yeah, for me, it's a lot of anxiety. I just kind of relate it to if somebody drops a grenade in the middle of the field and it's like, hey, watch what happens here. And you're waiting for it to happen. Yesterday, it kind of helped because with green flag stops and not having any caution flags there, it broke the field apart to where we only had 13 or 14 cars in the lead pack. So kind of knew it was going to wait longer for everybody to make the move. But yeah, it's not racing that I enjoy, but at the end of the day, they still give trophies at the end of those races. And that's what we're there to try to get.
Okay. So AJ Allmendinger, winner of the Xfinity race at Talladega this weekend. You pretty much answered my question there, but I'm still going to I'm going to ask it anyway and see if you change any of what you just said. Does the anxiety hold with you all race? Is it because you're anticipating that big one, or is the anxiety that last lap, hoping that you don't give up too big of a lead or hoping that you don't jump ahead too early, or a combination of both?
It's just everything. Even early in the race, you're just, heck, it was lap 2. Ty Gibbs gets spun and we're right by it. And so it's just, you're kind of always waiting for it and you're just trying to make the right moves. But yeah, definitely at the end of the races, that anxiety builds up and you're just kind of waiting of, okay, what's going to happen here? And as I said, it's, that there's a possibility of the big one happening and being in it. I've always just kind of felt like if you can not be the cause of it, like if you're in it and you're in it, but if you're not the cause of it, then it is what it is. But yeah, it's not, I've never really enjoyed it. Even early in my career, I was like, okay, this is different type of racing. You're never getting away from people. So, but like I said, I feel pretty confident about making the right moves or at least putting myself in the right position. And then from there, it's just seeing what happens. What can I do for you?
Oh, yeah. You just keep winning, Dad. That's what he's saying. Keep winning, Dad.
Zena, all right, you got to get down. Like, there we go. Yeah, she's down.
AJ Allmendinger joining the Freaks on a Sunday night and 14 Xfinity wins. You had a career reboot a couple of years ago, and it has just been nothing but fun to follow. Did you really think that this was a possibility a couple years ago? And how much are you really enjoying this?
Did I lose you guys?
Oh no!
No, you there?
You're back. All right. I lost it. See, this is what happens. I turn on the Wi-Fi in my house and everything just locks down. Really nice. I was trying to be smart there.
Yeah. Just you're stick to racing cars, not working on home Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, I think all this is just unexpected. We've talked about it over the last couple of years, right? All of it is unexpected, and I don't really take it for granted. I am truly enjoying it. I think I'm probably, I would say, more passionate about it now, and I would say probably even more on edge a little bit when it comes time to the race, because I want to go out there and try to win, and I know we have great chances to win, and I'm having a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, when I thought I was trying to retire, it was one of those things where it's like, all right, I've had a good career. I wish it could have been a little bit better, and I could have won some more races and things like that. But with everything that's happened now, this is just kind of like the cherry on top. And in a weird way, and this is going to probably be really weird saying to you guys, because you've been around me since it started, I'm probably more comfortable in my own skin than I've ever been. And in the sense of being okay, being happy with the way my career's going. And, I know with you guys, I'm really outgoing, but there's getting the race car and it's like, man, there's doubt. It's like, okay, maybe I can't get it done or things like that. And I'm always hard on myself. So I think more than ever, I'm more confident in myself and more comfortable in my own skin that in any situation we can have a shot to win. And Matt Collig and Chris Rice really instilled that in me and all the men and women at Collig Racing. But yeah, it's just, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And as I said, I think I'm enjoying it because I didn't expect it to happen. So now we're just riding the wave.
AJ Allmendinger is a longtime friend of the Freaks, having an enormous amount of success in the Xfinity Series. I want to ask you a question, though, that I don't know if you want to answer. Tell me about the conversations that are going on in the garage about the Cup car and all the things that people are saying about how dangerous it is.
Yeah, quite honestly, I listen. I don't really, involve myself in the conversations because I'm not in the car all the time. I'm just running part-time. Knock on wood, it'll happen at some point, I'm sure. I haven't had really any big hits in the car. But there's no doubt the cars are rigid. Like, they're stiff. Just even riding the bumps in the car. They're really stiff, and you feel it. And you feel it when you even have door-to-door contact with somebody, or you go to a racetrack. Texas is a perfect example. Obviously, last week, see all the tire issues, but just riding through 3 and 4, the track's bumpy and you feel it. So, there's the veterans of that are more outspoken that have been there for a long time. Kevin Harvick and Denny and those guys. They're doing the talking for all of us. I think we're all in agreement that, hey, like, we got to do something about this, because you see somebody like Alex Bowman and Kurt Busch just back it in. And Kurt's was I felt like a bigger hit. You thought, okay, but even that, you still wouldn't think anything of it. But Alex, he barely backed into Texas. Mm-hmm. And it's a shock to the system. So it's one of those things that we know that there's got to be work done. It's hopefully it's done in the right way, and the conversations are happening inside and quiet, and something's done about it, because we can't keep going this way.
You might be the perfect person to ask this question of, you have had success in open wheel. You've had success in sports cars and prototypes, the highest end of sports cars, and you've had success in stock cars. Now, is this new car stiffer than, say, a sports car or an open wheel car that you've driven, or is it just stiffer than the old Cup car, which makes it different for the new drivers?
Yeah, I think it's definitely, the champ cars and Indy cars that I drove, it's a lot stiffer just because none of the parts fly off when you hit. It's for the generic fan, you see the biggest wrecks, right? And wheels and suspension pieces and stuff and bodywork and stuff are flying off. You think, wow, that looks massive. Well, for the driver, that's the best wreck because all the energy is being kind of dissipated from inside the cockpit. And that's why the stuff is happening. This Cup car, nothing moves, just kind of nothing budges. And so when you're in the seat, that's the driver takes that because nothing's really flying off the car. And, the old Cup car, you could see you back it in the fence. And I mean, it would fold the back of the car up to the rear deck lid, up to the glass. And you're like, that's a huge hit. But for the driver, that's great because all the back end of the car is taking the energy away. Well, now, I mean, you saw like Kurt's and even all the wrecks at Texas, but like Kurt's especially and Alex's, he back it in and hell, there's hardly any damage to the car. And I think that's I don't know, a full redesign or if there's, and I don't have a great knowledge of inside the race car, but if there's certain bars you can take away that allow the thing to kind of crumple a little bit better. So I've been the first one to say, I actually enjoy driving the car. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass to race because they're really aero dependent at certain racetracks, but I've actually had fun driving the race car. And so, maybe I don't know. I haven't talked to other drivers about it. Maybe I'm in the minority of people that enjoy driving it, but I actually really have fun driving the race car. But yeah, the safety aspect is something that needs to be worked on. And there's always a little bit of, it's a new car, so you're going to learn, but we can't keep learning on the fly and having drivers get injured because that's not good for the sport.
But AJ Allmendinger, again, your Xfinity Series winner, Talladega, joining us in the Lucas Oil Studios. That's what's fun for a fan, at least for the three of us, is to put the car in the driver's hands. Not like a track is the one that's going to dictate how the race finishes. It's you and the G-Dam car. Isn't that what 30 of the drivers want?
Yeah. So I don't think the drivers certainly the way. So I will say this, with how aero dependent it is, sometimes it's hard to pass, and the tires, even at Texas, we saw tire issues, but the tire, the speed would not fall off on the tires. Unfortunately, they would just let go, and that's why we saw the accidents. So I think at some of these racetracks, and it's a fine line of trying to figure out, Goodyear on the fly of learning this car, but you get some tire wear to where the cars fade a little bit. It makes passing a little bit better, but that's what I've enjoyed it. I mean, it's a tough car to drive. It's the rigidness of how quick the steering is. It makes it fun to drive. It's just the problem is if it goes wrong, it's, you can't have drivers getting punished, especially on small accidents like that sometimes. But that's what I've enjoyed it. I mean, it's not an easy car, especially when you're hauling it off in the corner like a Bristol or a Dover like that. I think as we learn the aero of the car, you make it a little bit better following another car, so you can get close to him and make the pass if you're close enough.
Freak Nation, his name is AJ Allmendinger, your winner from the Xfinity Series Talladega, your points leader, going to be taking out Ty Gibbs and Noah Gragson here pretty soon, brother. As always, it's greatness when you're on Freak Nation.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yes, when AJ rolls in the Freak Nation, it is always greatness. More freaks next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined. listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, check out lucasoil.com. That's lucasoil.com to keep your engines. And I say engine, I don't care if you got a motorcycle, a speedboat, big fat F-150 in your garage. They have the products to keep your engines fat and happy. Go to lucasoil.com. That's lucasoil.com. How you guys doing on the Facebook pages we're part of right now? YouTube, Twitch, and, of course, the Freak Radio Network. Looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. Yeah, we typically have it on the studios.
Sunday night in the fall.
Patrick Mahomes is like Jeff Gordon with the football. I don't know what that means. I don't.
Well, good. He's meaning that he's good.
That's the badass.
But where in the level of good you're trying to make the comparison? I don't know.
How many championships is Jeff Gordon? But my 5 visits to the red zone and 5 touchdowns. But it's against Tom Brady. I think they're down 14 points. Suave, is that right? I'm sure you're watching the damn game. Okay, 14 points. It's Tom Brady. One time they were down 21.
I bet you Mahomes can't break dance though.
Hey, that's right.
Yeah, like Jeff Gordon can, right?
That's of our 22 years. We broke that news like 17 years ago. Jeff Gordon dropped on our radio show.
Yeah.
That former breakdancer.
And then we gave it to Jamie Little, and she made some introduction of him on stage. I believe it was one of their awards banquets or something, and he actually did it. So yes, that was very cool.
Yeah, we're badass, man. Big second hour, Freak Nation. His name is Robert Hight, NHRA Funny Car winner 8 times over, but recently he won this afternoon at Worldwide Technology Raceway. More freaks coming up top of the hour.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Second hour of the Freaks, Freak Nation. Sports Map Radio Network. Coming up this hour, Robert Hight. 8 funny car wins this year. Holy crap. Bad day to stop sniffing glue.
Yeah.
Damn.
And you haven't told everybody that we are technically on fall break with our daughter. So yeah, actually doing our job appropriately or correctly probably won't happen.
Listen, I just spent 2 damn days, Stat Man, at the State Fair of Texas, eating the best food in the history of mankind. I was walking down the stairs of my house thinking, my freaking hips are sore as hell. Where did that? Oh, check my watch. 50,000 steps, you bastard, chasing around, spending money on an 8-year-old, Stat Man, throwing baseballs.
Did you get any deep fried Snickers?
Oh,
that's so passe, man. You have deep fried charcuterie.
Mm-hmm.
You have deep fried turkey dinners.
No, Thanksgiving dinners. Yes.
Whole dinners.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the balls are about like a baseball, but it's got cranberry in there, turkey,
stuffing, green beans,
great.
All in one deep fried ball, like a softball or something?
Hell yes, it does.
Who needs to put the turkey in the oven anymore? You just buy a bunch of these balls and fry them up.
Yeah.
Might as well.
What was the one thing that our buddy Anthony had, Crasher, with the waffle and the chicken?
Chicken and waffle.
No.
Extreme chicken and waffle or something like that. Bacon was incorporated and the super sweet sauce was incorporated. Oh, yeah.
Chicken and waffles and bacon?
And
where's DoorDash when you need it?
Oh, yeah. There was just... There were so many amazing things, like there always are. If you can eat it, or even sometimes if you can't really eat it, fry it up and you can eat it.
Let's go to our residential millennial on this one. Suave, are the residential millennials, are they killing fried food like the State Fair of Texas or Ohio or Indiana? Well, those go bye-bye when it comes to fried food. Are you guys putting a bunch of healthy, crappy food?
Yeah. No, yeah, we don't do that anymore. No, we're all about we're all hipsters now. And all the hipsters like to eat clean. Most of us are vegans now.
Lordy.
And so we can't do any of that stuff anymore.
That's the only way the skinny jeans will fit, Kenny. If you can't get it skinny jeans if you're eating deep fried Snickers and turkey dinners.
Oh yeah, skinny jeans and millennials. You ought to see Richie in his skinny jeans.
I look damn good. All right.
Do you even own a pair of skinny jeans, Richard?
I don't think so. No, I don't think I do. Don't think I do.
If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook Live, what Richie's doing is he's going through a number of the fried foods that you've got at the State Fair of Texas.
Oh, see, there's one where I just brought one up that's called shaking beef salad.
Yeah,
so
that's
there are salads available at the State Fair of Texas. That's not deep fried. So that's
I was getting ready to say a deep fried salad that covers all the bases.
Oh, this one that you have pulled up right here, I wanted to do it and I passed it on day one, which was Friday, and I forgot to go back on Saturday. A fried fried soul food egg roll. Ooh, I really wanted to do that.
Well, describe to those on radio, Crasher. We got a minute or so.
I don't. My eyes are so old, I can't read.
An egg roll filled with tender barbecue flavored marinated chicken combined with grandma's old school flavored collard greens and mac and cheese.
That's what I want. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Wrapped up in an egg roll.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But here you go. You thought deep fried Thanksgiving dinner was weird. Let's just put an entire cookout in one ball. Deep fried country cookout.
Pulled pork with a generous amount of herbed goat cheese and house-made special sauce.
Herbed
fried pork. They give you a 911 call when you eat that, so that when your heart stops, you get, what do you call those paddles that
clear?
Yeah.
Defibrillators. Oh, the Fat Elvis. What's on the Fat Elvis?
How did you not see the Fat Elvis?
We have it's basically marshmallows with some peanut butter, some what else? Bacon is in there as well.
Right.
Bananas. Delicious.
You missed it.
Peanut butter, marshmallows, and bacon. There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Honey.
Speed Freaks on a Sunday night as we join up with a slew of Sports Map radio affiliates. Thank you guys for being a part of this big old thing on a Sunday night. Speed Freaks. Follow us on Twitter, SpeedFreaks.tv. Of course, the website. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And again, thank you, Sports Map, for being part of the Freak Radio Network. If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, we're here. You can watch this extravaganza. Some of you folks maybe just lying in bed going, what's up, man? What are this? What's this black guy, this chick, this dude with 2 earrings, afraid to take off his damn hat because he might look bald? I don't look bald. I just got State Fair hair. Then, of course, you have Richard C. Suave, who hadn't showered in about 6 or 7 days.
But he's the residential millennial.
Yes, he is, the residential millennial.
He's been looking for his skinny jeans. That's why.
Right.
Coming up at 12 past the hour, you've got Robert Hight, NHRA Funny Car winner from Worldwide Technology Raceway. How are you guys doing watching us on Worldwide Technology Raceway's Facebook page? He'll be joining us 12 past the hour. And if you get a chance, stick around for this interview with Cole Moore. He won the ARCA Series Racing West race Saturday night, Roseville, California. The significance, well, it's his first ARCA Series race win, but the big part of this is his team owner, Bill McAnally, who has supplied big boy race cars, just for ARCA Series and the K&N Series for the likes of Brendan Gaughan, Clint Boyer, the father, son. I could
Gillilands.
go. Yeah, the Gillilands. We could go on and on what McAnally's done. But Cole Moore won Bill McAnally his 100th ARCA Series race win, Crasher, on Saturday night.
Is it 100th win in the ARCA Series or just 100th team win, period?
Well, I went back and read the because I knew you were going to ask that. I thought the same thing. But if you go back and read the press release from his PR person, he says 100th in the ARCA Series, which I think is, remember, there was the K&N Series.
Oh, that's
West.
right. So, yes. So this includes the record keeping of the K&N West Series. Right. Still, that's spectacular because he does do other series besides the former K&N West and now current ARCA West. So, wow. So that the team has more than 100 wins.
They won 100 times at Irwindale Speed.
Right. That I would totally believe. Yes. They've dominated Irwindale Speedway, short track in Southern California.
All right,
Absolutely.
Freak Nation, coming up in 3.5 minutes. His name is Robert Hight. 8 NHRA Funny Car wins this year. SpeedFreaks Pits and what is that, Crasher? What is
the Lucas Oil Studios.
Robert Hight coming up next. SpeedFreaks Pits and Crasher.
Lucas Oil Studios.
Bang.
Hey, Dad, what are you going to buy at the store today?
I'm out of Lucas Oil fuel treatment, so let's jump in here and grab us some.
Well, do they have the Lucas Oil parts cleaner and degreaser?
I bet they do.
Well, how about the Lucas Oil power steering fluid?
You know, they'll have that too.
Even the octane booster?
I won't be surprised if they do.
My favorite red and tacky grease?
Yes, they will, babe.
Dad, when we're done, can we grab some candy?
Deal, but you gotta share.
Awesome! Lucas works.
General Tire was born more than 100 years ago, right here in America. We've spent the last century tackling every kind of road this country has to offer, and especially the places without roads. So you know that with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Lucas Oil, it works.
I run Lucas Oil.
It doesn't matter if you're on the water,
Driving to work,
or competing in a sold-out stadium.
Lucas Oil products will help you get the most out of your vehicle.
Monster Jam has run Lucas Oil in and on our trucks for over 10 years.
we wouldn't run anything else.
Lucas Oil, the official oil of Monster Jam.
Hey, Freak Nation, did you hear? With the addition of MAV TV Plus to the MAV TV Motorsports Network, they've got their full live event broadcast schedule, a total of 226 live race broadcasts featuring the ARCA Menard Series, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Pro Pulling League, American Sprint Car Series, Pro Motocross, and the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl Nationals. MAV TV, the only television network dedicated to motorsports. Go to mavtv.com to get your motorsports fix 24/7, 365.
It's more than just a slogan. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. General Tire's Grabber X3 Mud Terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressively styling the Speed Freaks since 2001.
There is less than 1/100th of an inch of motor oil protecting your car's engine. Friction and heat causes engine oil to experience thermal breakdown, weakening its ability to protect the engine and its parts. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer is specially formulated to resist thermal breakdown, protect vital engine parts, and extend the life of your engine. It also stops smoking, knocking, and oil consumption in worn engines. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. Keep that engine alive.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, coming up, Robert Hight, 8-time NHRA Funny Car winner this year, multi-time champion. Robert Hight will be here in the Freak Nation. Of course, a big win at Worldwide Technology Raceway, an incredible race weekend for our friends there at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Lucas Oil makes this thing possible. Their website, lucasoil.com. What about the interior of your car? They have plenty of products to keep your car looking smart. You want a real smart car? It's got to look smart. Go to lucasoil.com. That's lucasoil.com. So, yes, Robert Hight coming up in moments, Statman Scat. Also, Bill McAnally, stock car team owner, celebrated a big milestone this weekend, his 100th win in the ARCA Series. The driver that did it, Cole Moore, will be joining us here in the Freak Nation. But first, what about Robert Hight, 8-time NHRA Funny Car winner here in the Freak Nation, Lucas Oil Studios? I'm about to lose count on both of my hands when it comes to race wins for this NHRA Funny Car champion. Robert Hight, your winner from WWT Raceway's NHRA Extravaganza this afternoon, joining us here in the Freak Nation. And the sad part about this is when we're conducting this interview with you, you haven't had a damn thing to eat. So you're on full beers right now, huh?
Exactly, yeah. And, we're going back to 2018, the last time I won this race. I crashed in the final and had to go get my collarbone worked on at the hospital. So didn't get to celebrate. So we got to double celebrate tonight, right?
You do have some catching up to do.
Yeah. So
that's right. Oh my God, that was 2018?
Yes.
It seems like 10 years ago almost. Holy
All right, I'm going to take a left turn. I'm going to follow that right there. Robert Hight here in the Freak Nation, NHRA Funny Car pilot, winner from WWT Raceway this afternoon. When you have an accident at a track, injury accident, how quickly can you put that behind you? Meaning you pull up to the starting line, you see all these familiar sights and sounds from this one racetrack. Do you cringe going, oh, damn it, this is when I toasted my car, or is it already gone?
No, it's got to be gone. You've got to put it behind you and move on to the next one. And, if history repeats itself, we went on to Dallas, which was the next race, and won. So it's exactly what this AAA team needs to do. This countdown's really close. This was a 40-point swing in the final. Had Caps beat me, it would have been single-digit lead, going into 3 races left. So it's crazy how competitive it is. And, going back to what you said earlier, if somebody would have bet me early in the year that any funny car driver would have 8 wins this year, I'd have bet against it. And what's really sad is 8 wins is not going to win the championship. We're going to have to win more.
Okay. So you don't think you can just get to the finals or even just get to the semifinals and or finals through your next 3 races and be safe enough? You need to have at least one more win, you're thinking.
I think I need 2 more wins. I mean, Caps has been on a tear. He's winning races. And then the way NHRA does this, they give you 1.5 points for Pomona. So instead of 20 points for a round win, you're going to get 30. So unless you go into Pomona with more than 120-point lead, it's mathematically possible for somebody else to get you.
Ooh, I did forget about that. Doesn't sound like you're, yeah. It doesn't sound like you're a fan of 1.5 points.
No, I'm not a fan of the whole countdown. I mean, I think it needs to be revamped. I think that they need to go back like NASCAR does, and they reset it. However, they're stagger between each driver, but then they need to go back and say, okay, you're going to get X amount of wins or X amount of points for every win you've had. Okay. And make the wins count for something, not just be useless.
Statman, that's something you've said for years. Wins need to matter, right?
Exactly. But who listens to the Statman?
They don't listen to me either, I promise.
Wait a minute. You're part of their bread and butter. They need to be listening.
No, they won't listen.
Exactly.
They want it to go down to the Auto Club Finals, the last round of the year to crown a champion. And you want to talk about a pressure cooker?
Yeah. Ask Doug Coletta and Tony Schumacher a couple times.
You got that right. Exactly.
So Robert Hight is the Funny Car winner at Worldwide Technology Raceway. I want to ask you something a little different. You talked about some stresses that are going on in the funny car and in the countdown and all of that. When you get out of the car and you get quiet, you ever want to get your gun and go out and do some shooting, some competition shooting like you used to do?
You're not kidding. Yeah, I'd give anything for that right now. I got to do a little bit this summer, and I had a blast. Honestly, thinks it helped. I think it really helps me in the car because you can focus. But yeah, if everything goes well, I'm going to try between Vegas and Pomona to go shoot in Tucson, Arizona.
Wow. You got it all planned out. So that will get your mind right, and you'll show up for those points and a half.
That's right.
Ready to blaze away.
Yeah. Shoot up some, get my my frustrations out.
Well, let's just preface. If people are just tuning in,
wait a minute, Kenny.
What?
No, I know what you're doing, but we can't let that go by. We've talked to Robert Hight for 20 years, and that's the first time he dropped anything on us. That talk about stress. You need to get a gun right now.
Is that his first F-bomb?
No, he's done it before.
No, on mic.
Oh.
Who knows? It's all good.
Well, he was a competition shooter. We're not. That's all we're talking about. We're not.
Right.
Yeah, that's my point. I don't want people to go, "Oh my God, Robert Hight's going to get on the roof of the deer rifle." No,
go postal. Yeah. No.
Damn it! We just had 80 affiliates join us, man.
That's what I said. He's going out because that went into my mind. He's going out some competition shooting. I tried to make that clear.
How specifically, though, Robert, does that help you relax? I mean, is it because you're so laser focused on your targets and you have nothing racing on your mind and that feels good?
Yeah, exactly. And, honestly, I used to shoot a lot, and you can't miss in trap shooting if you want to win. You have to be perfect. And so you've got to stand out there and have focus for several hours. And honestly, if you can do that, I think you can drive a race car. I think because that's once you learn how to drive, it's really all about focus and paying attention and being on your game.
So does that help you more at the starting line and your reaction times, or do you think it helps you if something goes wrong in 1,000 feet? It helps you more on that reactionary basis.
I think everything about driving a race car is a reaction. First, you have to leave the starting line on time, be better than the guy or gal in the other lane. And then you have to react to whatever the car does. Okay. And you have to be laser focused on your game. So yeah, it helps in all aspects of driving.
That's fascinating. Wow. I know, right?
Yeah. I mean, that it just amazes me. First time you hit us with that competition thing, that was like, wow. I mean, you got so much intensity. You only compete for 15 minutes a weekend, but those are the most intense 15 minutes that anybody has ever had in their life. I mean, so much is going on, championships at stake, points at stake, competition is at stake. I could understand, going and doing something completely different that requires that same level of concentration.
Yeah, exactly. And, I also have a lot of fun doing it. So you guys ever want to go shooting with me? I'd love to take you out. It's a blast.
What are you shooting?
I shoot a 12 gauge and I've got guns. We can, we'll go out. You guys are in Arizona?
Yeah.
I know you said Tucson. I was like, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of places right in Phoenix, Tucson. It's Arizona's a big shooting state.
Hey, why don't we do this for the last race here at Phoenix next year? Maybe you get out here early. We could do a little skeet shooting.
I'll take you guys. I promise. I'll come in a day early and we'll go out and we'll have a blast. And you guys will be hooked. I promise.
Dang. Well, Robert, we know you're headed off to get some food, my friend. Thanks for taking about 8-9 minutes to join us here in the Freak Nation. Just congratulations on your 8th freaking win, buddy.
Yeah, it's been crazy. We're gonna have some fun tonight and enjoy this, but we gotta get back on track tomorrow and focus. We had a mechanical error, and it wasn't anybody made a mistake. It was a $6 part failed in Charlotte last weekend and, cost us the round win. I'm not saying we would have won the race, but it cost us a round win. So we gotta stay focused and make sure that doesn't happen again. And I think we might even do some testing before we go to Dallas.
Bang. Robert Hight, 8 times in the winner's circle, NHRA Funny Car driver, joining us here in the Lucas Oil Studios as we've been doing this for 22 years. Robert Hight, thank you, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You man.
Go have fun.
Yep. See ya.
And Kenny, I noticed in that interview, something's missing.
Yeah, our lovely daughter took Bob Ross from behind me. Henley, come here. Show.
You got to bring that back, Henley. Oh, yes. Kenny had a nice, right next to the Lucas Oil Slick Mist bottle.
Yep.
Right in front of the black book. What does that say? Armadillo.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all fuzzed out. And you're, right there.
Henley,
Bob Ross. We won that. You won that this weekend. Actually, no, I think I won it. And then I gave you my winnings of Bob Ross.
We go Statt man.
The stuffed animal Bob Ross. And I did.
What'd you have to do to win that? The second place, 2 of them?
No. We sacrificed a semester of Henley's college fund to get this.
Yeah. Between 6 adults and 2 kids, we ended up winning 3 of that size, the big Bob Rosses, and then the kids each won a, what do you call them? Something mellow? Squishmallow.
Oh, Squishmallow. Yeah.
Whatever those are.
It's something that kids like, their squishy freaking toy thingamajig.
Actually, no. Can we just be honest?
Yep. Uh-oh.
Kenny had to go to Walmart last night as we're driving back from the State Fair of Texas and buy a carry-on bag. No, not a carry-on bag, a gate check bag that's usually used for a car seat. And we loaded that thing this morning before flying back to Phoenix with all the stuffed animals that Henley won.
So now you got the cat in the background and you got Bob Ross in the background. If one of those, if that Supercross thing climbs off the wall and starts walking around the studio, I think the Freak Nation is going to declare war on all of us.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's how it rolls.
Ricky Carmichael's Texas pants right there, signed by number 4. Yeah, you can barely see them in your screen right now, Kenny. But yeah, I know for you guys listening on the radio, you can't see what we are talking about. I apologize, but you all know that the legend that Bob Ross was. So at least that.
Freak Nation, coming up in a moment, your Stat Man Scat. Also this hour, I bet you don't know this guest. I bet you don't. But he did something for Bill McAnally Racing, which is, Bill McAnally Racing is like the Roush or the Hendrick or the Penske of the West Coast.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to stock cars. He has some entries in the NASCAR Truck Series, and also from time to time he'll throw some in the Xfinity Series. But Bill McAnally got his 100th win here on the West Coast in the ARCA Series West, running on those General tires. And we talked to the dude who did that and was running against his old man in this race. So that's also coming up. But first, your Stat Man Scat, as we look at Bob Ross.
Kalle Rovanperä is the hottest name in the World Rally Championship right now. He won the World Championship in New Zealand this weekend. The Finn is only 22 years old. The championship came officially a day after his 22nd birthday. That makes him the youngest World Rally champion ever. Rovanperä's win in New Zealand came at the expense of Frenchman Sébastien Ogier, who has 8 of these things. But Rovanperä beat him by nearly 35 seconds in New Zealand. Even if you don't care about rallying, you have to appreciate this headline. Kalle is traveling all over the world, beating guys old enough to be his father. And there's still 2 championships left in the season. Here in America, we're told to cheer for teenagers who win local races. Rovanperä won 6 of 11 championship rallies this year, and there's 2 more to go. He beat all comers. So what were you doing on your 22nd birthday? Peace.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined. listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Now through the end of October, buy 4 qualifying light truck SUV tires from General Tire and get up to $100 back on the Visa prepaid card. Go to generaltires.com. It's generaltire.com for more information. But again, man, winter's right around the corner. Don't be a dummy sliding around on that ice or snow. Grab yourself a new set of General Tires. And hey, man, might get up to $100 back from our friends at General Tire. Go to generaltire.com.
Think you just gave General Tire their new slogan. Hashtag don't be a dummy.
Was that Red Fox, that man? You big dummy?
Yeah. That was Fred Sanford.
Oh, sorry. Got to be clear on that. Hey, Richie, how's that Formula One championship going there, buddy?
I think Max Verstappen won that back in March, didn't he? Is the season still going on? Thought it was over.
Crasher's got a story here that Statman's favorite driver of all time, Lewis Hamilton, is it sour grapes that he's not real happy with the way this Formula One season is finishing up? Not necessarily. But I will say this, Crasher. This time last year, this Formula One hater,
meaning
me, was pretty much enthralled with what was going on in Statman. We started talking about Formula One in freaking October. We're just amazed at that. But Crasher, what's the story about Lewis Hamilton not being really stoked with the way the season's wrapping up?
Well, he has a valid point. And I think it was Friday at the Singapore Grand Prix at one of the press conferences. He said specifically, I feel for the fans for this year's title fight because it could end so early. And there was a lot of talk that it would end this very weekend with 5 rounds to go. I mean, that's serious. That means what are you going to do the rest of the season? Are you really going to watch? So, yeah, he went on to say that for us last year, us meaning Formula One and Formula One fans, going right down to the wire was intense for everybody. It's never great when the season finishes early, even when I've experienced having it finish early in places like Mexico. Okay, let's put some perspective on this because he has gone down to final round title deciders in 2007, so 2007, 2010, 2016, and 2021.
Damn.
And lost all 4 of them. So he is, 7-time champion. He's a 7-time champion. He could have 4 additional ones that he lost in the final round, meaning he is, how did they phrase it? He is the driver that has lost the most amount of championships in the final race scenario. So he's seen it on both sides, and he has claimed that he has enjoyed it on both sides. Obviously more when the championship comes out to be a win for him. But yeah, he's seen it on both sides and agrees he's a guy that wants it for the fans. The fans deserve better. They deserve it to come down, if not to the final round, at least the second to last round, not what could have been. It didn't happen this weekend, but it could have been Max Verstappen taking, the championship with 5 rounds to go, which would have meant snooze fest for the rest of the season.
Well, we could take it to the last lap of the season if you want. I mean,
he's done that. Oh, yeah. Actually, he did. Yeah, what did he say was the last 17 seconds in 2008? And that's when, was he up against Alonso or Alonso was his teammate? I'm drawing a blank right now. But
I am too. In fact, he passed the guy on the last lap, and he didn't know he'd won the championship until he crossed the finish line, and he was asking, what happened? What happened? He won it by 1 point.
It's badass.
Was it Felipe Massa?
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. That's
in Brazil.
Well, hey, Richie, what if something like this happens next year and we roll into Las Vegas and people are spending $30,000 a ticket, $15,000 a night to stay at the Motel 6, and your freaking champions already wrapped up the championship?
It wouldn't surprise me one bit, right? Because Vegas, I believe, is the second to last race on the schedule in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. So I can almost guarantee you that's going to be the case, because I don't foresee Max Verstappen giving up the championship anytime soon. I don't think any team is really close. Close.
We'll let that disappear into your skinny jeans, Richie.
Max had a crap weekend this weekend.
He had one bad weekend. One bad weekend.
Out of the first 3 races, he had 2 of them were horrible. I think didn't he DNF one? I mean, come on.
What does that say about the field? If he's could wrap it up with 5 races left.
He won 5 consecutive up until this weekend.
I mean, Ferrari did crap it away multiple times this season too. So, I mean, they're right there with them, but they've crapped away many races. But yeah, to answer your question, Kenny, if it happens against next year, the people there aren't going to care, because I think, as we've already discussed on the show, at this point, whether it be Miami or Coda, like, it's just basically become a gigantic reason to party, more so than what's actually happening on the track in those 2 hours on any given Sunday during a Formula One season. So I don't think people are going to care. They just want to say that they were there, and that's the point. For me, that would be the case too. Like, it's like an experience. I was at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. My Rams got their butts whooped. I didn't care that they lost. The game was terrible. I was at the Super Bowl, and that's all that mattered to me.
Valid point.
Look, the race steward with 3 races to go next year, if it comes down to, they're going to install a freaking playoff just to keep Lewis Hamilton out of a damn championship.
They're going to do the best they can to keep him from stepping out on the limb by himself. Yeah.
How many times has he been fined for jewelry?
No, that's another.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. So stupid. Freak Nation. It's incredible what Bill McAnally, big-time stock car owner, has done. We'll get to that story and the winner who helped him achieve it next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
General Tire was born more than 100 years ago, right here in America. We've spent the last century tackling every kind of road this country has to offer, and especially the places without roads. So you know that with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Hey, Freak Nation, did you hear? With the addition of MAV TV Plus to the MAV TV Motorsports Network, they've got their full live event broadcast schedule, a total of 226 live race broadcasts featuring the ARCA Series, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, Pro Pulling League, American Sprint Car Series, Pro Motocross, and the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl Nationals. MAV TV, the only television network dedicated to motorsports. Go to mavtv.com to get your motorsports fix 24/7, 365.
Hey, Dad, what are you going to buy at the store today?
I'm out of Lucas Oil fuel treatment, so let's jump in here and grab us some.
Well, do they have the Lucas Oil Parts Cleaner and Degreaser?
I bet they do.
Well, how about the Lucas Oil Power Steering Fluid?
You know, they'll have that too.
Even the Octane Booster?
I won't be surprised if they do.
My favorite red and tacky grease?
Yes, they will, babe.
Dad, when we're done, can we grab some candy?
Deal, but you gotta share.
Awesome! Lucas works.
It's more than just a slogan. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressively styling the Speed Freaks since 2001.
Lucas Oil, it works.
I run Lucas Oil.
It doesn't matter if you're on the water,
driving to work,
or competing in a sold-out stadium.
Lucas Oil products will help you get the most out of your vehicle.
Monster Jam has run Lucas Oil in and on our trucks for over 10 years.
we wouldn't run anything else.
Lucas Oil, the official oil of Monster Jam.
time is more valuable today. There's less time to keep our vehicles looking their best. That's where Lucas Oil Slick Mist Speed Wax steps up. It's great for paint, chrome, glass, and vinyl. Lucas Oil Slick Mist simply mists on and then wipes off, leaving a new car shine every time. It's quick and easy and works on wet or dry surfaces. For a complete detail, there's also Slick Mist Interior or Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Lucas Oil, it works.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, his name is Cole Moore, and he ran on some General Tires, speaking of. Saturday night, Roseville, California, won himself his first ARCA Series West race. But the significant part about that, well, there's actually, three significant pieces to the story. It's his first race win. 2, he's running against his old man. We'll talk about that with him. But it was Bill McAnally, his team owner, that Cole won his 100th Big Boy ARCA Series West stock car race. That's what Cole Moore did. He joins us now, Lucas Oil Studios. Cole Moore joining us here in the Freak Nation for a number of reasons. One is, if Cole Moore walked up to me in the street a week ago, I wouldn't know who the hell he was. But now that he's got the 100th win with Bill McAnally Racing, and if you know anything about stock car racing, specifically the West Coast, Bill McAnally is a badass. Got his 100th win with Cole Moore last night in Roseville, California. There's so much here, Cole, and he joins us now here in the Freak Nation, Lucas Oil Studios. Did you have any idea that Bill McAnally, legendary team owner, was stuck at 99 wins going into Roseville last night for the ARCA West Series?
You know, he mentioned it to me earlier this year, but it was way earlier. And obviously we haven't won this year, so it kind of escaped my mind until after the race. He was like, Cole, you just got me my 100th win. And I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy.
Dude, that's all you did with Bill McAnally? Dude, that's crazy.
He's a California guy. He's laid back.
I saw your post-race interview. You did more than that, Cole.
It's surreal, you know. It was there was so much going on for me. It was my hometown, and it was, you know, the track I grew up racing at. So like there was so many personal milestones that I was hitting. That's all I was. My mind was blown, truly.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Again, Cole Moore, running on those General Tires, ARCA Series West winner from Roseville, California, joined us here in the Freak Nation. There's so much going on there. I know Statt and Crash want to bring this up. Screw it. You're running against your dad in this race, man.
Yes, I think we all wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, we want to talk a little bit about that. Your old man's running in the series. Is that the dude's ass you want to kick the most in a race car when you run up against him?
How'd you know? Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, we talk, we talk a lot of smack to each other. It's fun, and we're both track champions there back-to-back years before this year. So there was definitely a few different battles going on out there internally.
Yeah. And this one involves Thanksgiving dinner coming up. So
for sure.
Yeah. Make dad do all the work, right? Well, yeah. It's interesting to me because it's Bill McAnally's 10th win at this track at All-America Speedway, his 100th win overall, your first, but you have such history at this track as well. I mean, there are so many different awesome stories that have come together and culminated with you in Victory Lane. I mean, this, maybe it has or hasn't sunk in yet, but for the team, that's going to take a while to have all of this history actually sink in, I would think.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just... You never know how you're gonna react when this is a true milestone for me. So I just you can't imagine what it's gonna feel like, and it hasn't sunken in. I really have to absorb it because this is a dream for me. Racing in the ARCA Series is a dream for me. I've been so close to wins and to finally get it home track. I've been strong everywhere, but to do it in front of all my family, a lot of my friends. It's amazing, truly.
Did I read that this puts you back up into second place in the points?
I think so. Yeah, mathematically in my head going in, I think this puts me in second. I know Jake has a pretty big lead. Obviously, he's had a really strong year. So there's 2 races left, and I think we're gonna have. I hear we're gonna have great car count at Vegas. So, you never hope for somebody to have a bad night, but that's what we need to happen for this. The 6 car needs to have a bad night, a couple bad nights. Yeah.
Cole Moore is the winner, 100th win for Bill McAnally Racing at Roseville Speedway. His first win at the Speedway. Crash brought up this idea of racing against your dad and beating him, and what that's going to mean to Thanksgiving dinner. I was thinking more of Halloween. That's like a trick or treat deal. It's got to be, you can't just say, yeah, okay, I beat Dad. That's going to be something you're going to hammer on him for a day or two, right?
Well, for sure. We've raced each other hundreds of times, but it's been about a year since we've been on the track together. So this one had a little extra meaning to it. And this week, with it being the hometown, we were actually on the local news together. So we were, playing around, like squaring up like a boxing match on TV. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, we're truly competitive, me and my dad. We really are. So it feels good to beat him. He's no joke in a race car.
You said that you were after the race last night, you said that you were going around town beating the drums to get people to come out. Did your dad follow you around in all of those stops? And did you have to square up against him all afternoon the other day?
He went to a few spots with us, but he runs his business. He's very involved with day-to-day at his business, and so he had less free time than I did this week. I'm not so actively in it like he is.
Hold on a second. Statman, I'm cutting you off for a reason. Don't be nice to your dad now. You just beat his ass on the racetrack. Right. So you need to say, he couldn't make it around with me around town because he's so old.
He was scared.
And he may be fearful. Exactly. See, there you go. Talk smack. You earned it.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's Dad. Dad probably wrote 1 or 2 checks to get started along this path.
Just a few, absolutely, yeah.
And I bet he probably reminded you of that more than once this weekend.
Yeah, you're right.
Did he? What did he say?
He's a humble guy. He's not. He doesn't throw it at me like that. But he just, he shares his passion. He works hard to play hard, and we love to do it together. We have, and that is why I've gotten to where I am. Truly.
Cole Moore running on those General tires, the ARCA Series West, the ARCA West Series here in the Lucas Oil Studios. And Cole, we know your history at that track in that area. Why haven't you broken out to hit the national circuit to where you're running the entire ARCA Series or in the Xfinity Series or the Truck Series? Look at the legions of guys from Central and Northern California that have done it ahead of you. Why haven't you done it?
Well, this is actually my second full season in the ARCA West. I was Rookie of the Year last year. I just didn't get any wins. I was close as well last year, but getting that first win, it puts you on the map. It was overdue for me, I feel. Before I was racing ARCA, I was actually a Southwest Tour super late model champion out here. I went out to Pensacola, raced the Snowball Derby one time. I went there twice, made it once. So I definitely have I've built this up. So it just feels so good. It really does.
Pressure relieved.
Yeah. Well, it's a special occasion for you, Bill McAnally. And before you get the hell out of here, where and how did you get hooked up with Bill? Because this guy can spot freaking talent.
Yeah, it was at my home track. It was right there in Roseville. My dad and him actually know each other. They have a long relationship. My dad used to race for him back when Clint Boyer raced for him. So we've been around BMR, and then he got to see me race the late model at Roseville. And he tells people he was impressed by the way I was able to drive through the field without, roughing people up. He said I was, super meticulous with my passes, and he saw that, and that's what kind of, he drafted me to the ARCA Series.
Cole, what he meant was, without roughing people up, without destroying his gear. That's a team owner saying he didn't want you destroying his gear.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's been great, but now I'm hoping to move on. I'm hoping to continue my career.
Right. Well, dude, thanks for taking time out here in the Freak Nation. We're proud of what you did. Proud of Bill McAnally Racing. It's awesome. It's 100th win, and your first race win in the ARCA Series West, running on those General tires. Buddy, thank you for doing this, man.
Thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure.
And good luck in Vegas.
Thank you.
We've had Bill McAnally here in the Freak Nation, and I don't know if we asked him the last time we had him here celebrating our 21 years, regardless. Did we ask Bill McAnally why he's not made the big jump to Cup?
I think he's just comfortable where he is. I mean, he does now have a co-branded, a shared shop in Charlotte.
Right.
So, I mean, he is coast to coast now. I'd never say never, as we've learned in this business.
Man, you hit the nail on the head. Dude's won 100 races at Irwindale Speedway in Southern California.
Yeah, I would bet that he's not gone to the bigger categories because I think he's a Toyota team. Toyota or Chevrolet. He just changed at the beginning of the year. Yeah. Because he was on our show and had the wrong car in the background while he was gone.
I remember that.
But yeah, whoever's paying him is paying him to stay where he is and train up drivers in the way they should go. So when they're old, they won't depart from it.
Right. Hey, Swabby, I know I was supposed to text you this, but could you get ready the Beat the Freaks graphic? Let's bring that up because we didn't give it away this weekend, at least.
We did not.
Right.
Oh, you just wanted to bring it up because you won, Kenny.
I haven't won a long damn time, man.
The graphic is showing Kenny in triple digits and everybody else in double digits.
If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, you'll see the graphic. If you're listening to us on the Freak Radio Network, you'll see that yours truly won in this weekend's Beat the Freak. But I think all three of us picked Chase Elliott. Is that right, Richard?
That's correct. Yes.
Did we really?
Dang.
Did Sam, our contestant, clearly not pick him?
Sam did okay. He had Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, and Bubba Wallace. So not picking the race winner cost him the win.
Wow.
Look, I know
he beat me.
Statman's job to give away sets of tires here, man, but we're running out of them. We've been getting our ass kicked this year. My God.
Yeah, we've been, people have taken those tires and run over us with them, I think.
It is funny, though, just this weekend, two of our past winners, I don't know if they were recent winners or from the beginning of the year, posted pictures of their very fine-looking sets of General Tire.
This is real, Freak Nation. All you do is follow us on Twitter, and when we put out the video on Twitter about beating the Freaks, you submit your picks, and if you beat us, you get a crap ton of tires. All right, 4 tires from General Tire.
It's a full set. Come on. It's not going to the tire store and saying, I just need one replaced. No, this is a full set.
Yeah.
Keep it balanced. Keep it healthy. Keep it good.
It's been a great show, Freak Nation. If you miss any of it, go to the website, speedfreaks.tv. Of course, this will be up on all of our Facebook pages and our YouTube page when we wrap up this bad boy. Robert Hight was in here, eight-time NHRA Funny Car winner this year. He won at Worldwide Technology Raceway, which, again, big thumbs up to the gang there. It's a small but hardworking gang there at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Nice job this weekend, man.
Sold out crowd.
Kick some ass.
FYI. But what's
quickly,
that
Crasher,
about?
Quickly.
NFL messing with that.
Yep.
Clearly didn't
AJ Allmendinger was in here in the first hour. Yeah, big 2 hours. We'll wrap up this big show. Coming up next, Speed Freaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studio.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined. listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Might I remind you, Freak Nation, Speed Freaks on a Sunday night, Lucas Oil Studios, 22 years. And again, Sports Map Radio Network, part of this big old thing. Thank you, affiliates, for hanging around. And, of course, all of you folks on Facebook Live, YouTube, we're here for you, man. We got you. It's late. Stat Man's about ready to go to bed.
I'm yawning.
Stat Man's got to get his Noah Gragson t-shirt off. It's incredible how you really hopped on that bandwagon, Stat Man.
Yeah, I've had to staple it on to keep it there.
The AJ Allmendinger interview that we had earlier in the show, he was dropping some very subliminal bombs. Yeah, Noah was trying to be funny. He's not. I was like, I'm picking it up, AJ. I hear you. Aren't we going to reintroduce before we go? I don't know how much time we have left. Our fifth freak tonight?
Well, again, the foundation of the show, Crasher, is radio, you know?
I get that. But Bob Ross is a legend on all mediums. And all you have to do is say his name. And the world goes crazy.
Happy trees.
Happy trees.
Yeah, that's the tree on his head there, isn't it?
It is. It's like a chia pet. It's a chia pet, Bob Ross.
Wait, time out. You were given a chia pet for a Bob Ross chia pet, 2 years ago for Christmas? You have yet to use it. Where is that thing?
We need to pull that thing out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Needs to be some spring growing.
Richie, when Bob Ross makes it to State Fair, Texas, all's good with the world, right, brother?
I agree. He's still legendous after 35 years ish since he was on PBS back in the day.
Yeah, Bob Ross and Soul Food egg rolls. There you go.
Bang. That's how we roll, Freak Nation. All right, Bobby. Well, he just might be a part of the show every time. He just rears that big ass bulbous avocado head of his.
Yeah,
it's good looking.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's like a head of beef.
Bob Ross and his head of beef. There it is.
It is.
All right, Stat Man, let's do it, brother. Shoot the juice to the moose and do what?
Cut it loose.
And you better hurry up, damn it. Thank you guys for being a part of this big old thing.
Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.